Hey there, how's it going? This is Ryan Faulkner, Ironman Triathlon. I thought I would do a quick little update for triathlon transition bags, gear bags, all that kind of fun stuff for Ironman distance racing. I did one last year for Ironman Chattanooga, but unfortunately the swim was canceled, so therefore it was a little bit incomplete as far as what to do with your T1 bag from swim to bike and morning bag. It's a little bit different because it was time trial bike start. But this year, full on swim, bike, and run. It's going to be a little warm, so there's going to be some tips in that and what I pack in my transition bags, especially for dealing with the heat out there in the race course. I think the forecast right now is 95 degrees, and the humidity will probably put it over feeling like 100. So there'll be a little bit of that mixed in. So don't get too bogged down in that if you're racing an event that's not necessarily as heat related, but you keep it in mind for the future. So basically, I'll show you a little screenshot right now of what all my gear looked before and all the bags that are required for the race. You'll have 5. You'll have bike to run. You'll have swim to bike. You'll have special needs for the bike, special needs for the run, and you'll have your morning bag. So all of these you should be picking up. Check-in for athlete check-in, make sure you get them. Last year for Chattanooga, for some reason, I kind of skipped a little section when I got the bags. I didn't go and get them, but you should have 5 bags. For most races, there might be an exception, something a little bit different setup or something for a different race. But transitions all in one place for Ironman Chattanooga. It is a point-to-point swim, so they do have a nice morning bag that put all your stuff in, when they do with most races anyway, to make sure your stuff all ends up in the same place by the end of the race. But just make sure that you've got all your bags you're going to need. Read through the athlete guide just to make sure there's nothing different you need for your race. So basically, as I showed my screenshot before, I kind of had all my stuff. When I flew here, so I packed all my stuff and shipped as much as I could to try to transport with my bike, packed in double bags, so I didn't have to worry about fluids and stuff. Ship all that in there, like dry slide, and had some other various, on the floor that I used with my socks for keeping blisters and hot spots down and like hot shots, stuff like that. I didn't want to mess with going through security, and I don't like to check bags, so everything I brought with me I carried on in 2 bags, a big duffel bag and a big computer bag. You see there in the back behind my bike. So all that came here, got everything, got my bike yesterday, got my bags. I pretty much everything that was race related dumped out and put it in the big pile. So the picture later is I went through and I made my 3 little separate piles, swim, bike, and run. Pretty straightforward. I have my little notebook. I have my checklist that I brought with me of everything that I brought. I scribbled my notes on there. I bring it with me. If I lost it, I'd be in trouble. Maybe I'd be smart and take a picture of it with my smartphone. So if I did lose it, I'd have it for later. But basically, kind of as you're packing stuff, you might think of something like, oh gosh, oh yeah, that would be really helpful. Or you see something on one of Facebook pages. I saw a few comments about, the little Ziploc bag you bring with you on the run, so you can put ice in it and then stuff it in your clothes. That way it's nice because it just doesn't melt and get all over you. It stays in the bag. And my idea later too is I'm going to use a cooling towel, so I'll take that when it melts. Don't want a cooling towel, so between aid stations I have a little bit of a way to get some fluids, and worst comes worst, something to drink out there, because a mile can seem like a lot longer than a mile when it's 95 degrees and there's no shade at certain points of the run. So, I digress, but back to the transition bags. So as you see, I've got it broken down into swim, bike, and run. So the swim stuff is kind of everything I'm going to need to do the swim. And notice I've got little Ziploc bags for everything that's loose, for any kind of nutrition, any kind of just small parts and pieces. I have to use earplugs with my ears to be plugged up on the swim. So anything that's loose, that's small, I put in little Ziploc bags. Because if you put it in one of these bags or you put it someplace, everything's going to be mixed together and it's going to be the bottom of the bag. And I've learned over the years, if it's not someplace convenient mixed with everything else, you're in such a hurry and your mind's in other places in transition, you forget about it, you get into the run or into the bike, you're like, man, I forgot that whatever piece of nutrition down at the bottom of my bag, probably totally forgot about it. That way, everything that is small is in a little bag, and you're not going to lose it. I use attempts in T1 and T2 just to kind of keep the stomach at bay. So they're really small, so if I didn't put them in a bag or something like that, I kind of, they'd be in there and I might forget them or something. So I got everything sorted out. Anything that is liquid, hydration, nutrition, or anything, I don't put in my transition bag before I drop them off. So For Ironman Chattanooga, for example, drop off is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So anything that you put in those bags are going to be sitting out in the sun at 95-degree temperature. So food's going to get hot, foods are going to get hot, it's going to get nasty. You just don't want to leave it over there because you have access in the morning. So don't worry about it. You'll be able to get to it in the morning. And it's always good in the morning to go find your bags anyway, even if you're not going to put something new in there, just because they put them in numerical order. But as you go through, if you're early, they're going to shift the bags, put them in the right order. So you may kind of lose track of those bags. If you put it in one spot, you may end up down the road a little bit. So make sure you go in the morning, at least find your bags if you're not going to add anything to it. Another key is if you put your running shoes in your T2 bag or bike to run, make sure you have something to wear afterwards. So I'm gonna wear my shoes up until I drop that stuff off. I have a nice couple pair of flip flops I'm gonna wear race morning and everything. Otherwise, that's the only 2 pairs of shoes I brought with me. So had I not had those, I would have been kind of SOL, putting my shoes in my bag and leaving it there. So then it would have been another thing to remember on race day morning. Oh yeah, maybe bring my shoes and stuff in my T2 bag because I don't have another pair of shoes to wear for the weekend. So again, that's where the notepad comes in handy. We can write down those notes. You know, I've got notes. I'm going to freeze my hydration the night before a little bit, or I've got ice in the freezer ready to go. So I've got my notes to make sure I get all that. Make sure I get my breakfast out of the fridge to take with me. I'm more likely to drive there nice and early, park in the parking lots really close, and have plenty of time to eat my nutrition and not be hurried, not be rushed. So just little notes like that. Always have your notepad handy. It saved my bacon more than once because I got up in the morning, you're tired, you're going to get up at 3:30, 3 o'clock, whenever you're going to get up, transition up at 4:30. You're going to have transport to the swim start, especially Chattanooga. So you're going to get up early, you're going to be tired, you're not going to be thinking straight. So if you don't have some place, you're just relying on memory, it's going to fail you for something. And this is a pretty big event, it's going to be a long day. You don't want to forget anything. So make sure you're taking your notes. But luckily, like I said, I'm going to put my shoes in my bag, and then I have a pair of flip-flops right around the rest of the time. So, like I said, I've got everything lined out. This is kind of separating little piles. This pile goes in my T2 bag, or T1 bag, so from the swim bike. I've got shoes, socks, hydration, nutrition, and everything I'm going to take in transition. I put the lubrication in my socks just to keep it nice and comfortable, so I don't have any hot spots on the bike. And then I've got my special needs stuff. So notice it's not exactly the most nutritionally advanced materials out there, but I find that this is stuff that works for me. It's stuff that I crave when I'm out there. I get tired of the flip bars, the gels, the sports gels, and everything else. There's plenty of them on the course if you want them. But stuff like this, hot part bikes, they're great because they don't crumble up. It's got carbs in there, got sugar. And I've used them in my training, so I'm comfortable with how I perform with them. I've got other things like, peanut butter and mints. I crave those and Reese's Pieces. That's just kind of me. So everybody's got their unique little thing out there, but this stuff is going to go in my special needs bag. And I am prepared for this stuff to be hot by the time I get to it because it's going to be out there and it already gets in the 80s when it's like 8 o'clock here. So for whatever reason, this time of year, the temperature's spiking here in Chattanooga. So I'm prepared for this stuff to be just sitting out in the sun baking all day. So also be aware, if it is a cold event, I did Lake Tahoe 2013, and potentially that stuff will sit there and freeze. So beware of that too. If you got a full water bottle and it freezes, it'll actually expand and it could pop your water bottle. So something to keep in mind. But notice I've also got my run separated into what goes in my T2 bag. So I got my cooling towels, everything I want to have in transition. And I always go with err on the side of caution. I put things in my transition bags I may or may not need. When I get there, I may look at this stuff coming off the bike and being hot and gross and be like, I don't feel like having any of it. Or I may come in there and be like, I need something. I gotta take something. So having options, I've got shoes, I've got peanut butter M&Ms, I've got upper bikes. Like I said, the course has tons of stuff out there already. So these are things that kind of personalize to me what I like. And I always put them in my bag because at the end of the day, you get your transition bags back, you don't get your special needs bags back. So that's why special needs is just nutrition stuff. It's nothing important. Don't put your keys in there, especially the morning bag. Don't put keys in there. Don't put your phone in there. Because sometimes they do lose bags, they do the best they can, but make sure that you have everything you need for the race in there, but nothing valuable. Most valuable things, your shoes, your helmets. I've gotten everything back at the end of the race, and another important tip is on your bags. You will get your race numbers, little stickers to put on here. I would also get a Sharpie pen, black Sharpie pen, and write your number in multiple places. That way, when you're trying to find your bag in transition, you're in a hurry, or volunteers helping you out, they can find it. And when they go to put everything together, they tie all your bags together. They can find that number easily, especially if that sticker falls off for some reason, because it's going to be hot. You know, that sticker can kind of peel off or something like that. And who knows what's happening out there? But I always advise people to write their number on their bag. And you'll put a little star by it, something unique maybe that you would notice when you're in transition, when you're running by it. So that's the key points on that. So like I said, anything nutrition-wise, the special needs bags you drop off in the morning. So this stuff will not be sitting outside all day. It'll just be sitting from race morning, whenever you get to the special needs point, and the bike or the run, obviously the runs, the stuff. You know, I'm counting on these peanut butter M&Ms. Yeah. They're going to be pretty much melted by the time I get to them, but at least it's in a package. You know, it's not loose, just sitting around. I can just rip it off and kind of put them on out. If I'm to the point where I feel like eating something at that point, sometimes on the run, personally for me, solid nutrition really isn't as applicable. I do have things like a little Pepto tab if I do have stomach issues. It's kind of save my bacon more than once. Just to settle the stomach down so you could take a little bit of food or something like that, you know, feel totally miserable out there. So like I said, you know, I have a headband for my bike ride, especially if it's going to be hot out there. You know, there could be lots of sweats to deal with. I am planning on stopping at special needs. Typically, I don't really do that on the bike, but this year I'm going to make sure I stretch my back out. If I wear this, bring it out and stuff like that. But if I don't need it, if I don't want it, if I don't feel like it, I can just leave it in my transition bag and I'll get it back at the end of the day. Another key point, when you fill these guys up, so let's think of your run gear bag. You know, when you put all your shoes and stuff in here, it's gonna be a nice little bag. You know, when you cinch it up, I would avoid tying it in a tight knot. I do one little knot and one little loose guy. Because the last thing you want to be is in transition, wrestling with this knot and getting frustrated, especially after your swim, trying to get down the bike. You're already going to be stressed out enough that it is. It's already going to be a long day out there. Don't tie this in a super huge hard knot, because if you rip the bag open, all your stuff still has to go in here. And if you got a hole in here somewhere, the chance of something sliding out while they're transporting your gear or moving it around, you're trying to get it all together by the end of the race, goes up astronomically. So make sure you don't tie some huge, super tight knot in there until you're done in transition. When you're done in transition, you stuff all your stuff back in there. If you do wear a wetsuit, like we're Chattanooga, it's over 80 degrees, but it is wetsuit optional at this point. Everything's got in there. A wetsuit, your stuff, any wet clothes that you're not going to take with you on the bike, everything's got to fit in there. You're going to be able to tie it shut and you hand it to a volunteer. So just don't tie it tight until you're done with the bag. Check my notes here. Yeah, so bike and your run gear bag, pack it, being prepared for everything that's going to be in there. It's going to be sitting overnight because you're going to drop it off by minimum 3 p.m. the day before, and it's going to sit all night. So I highly recommend not putting any nutrition in there, not putting in hydration. These bottles, these do not go in my bag. These will go with me on race morning. I'll fill them up with ice, and then my hydration that I do, my Powerade, it's just some other liquid you can. So I would take these and put them on my bike personally. So I take them with me, and I have like a little separate bag that I carry over. I just put everything in my morning bag that doesn't go in a transition bag or special needs bag. Just carry it around it. So these actually go on my bike. I don't have these in my transition. So you have access to your bike before the race as well. So if you got some nutrition on here that you want to put in, you don't want to mess with it in your bag, or put in pockets in your suit or anything like that, you can have access to your bike the morning of to load up everything on there. So say you put something in your T1 bag that you actually want on your bike, you can go in your T1 bag, get it out, put it on your bike, write a note the night before to make sure you remember on race morning. So no food, so you get access race morning. Like I said, no drinks, you get to bring them race morning, load up on your bike and everything. But it's going to be on all day, so just be prepared for that. So your bike run special needs bag, you will not get your special needs bag back at all. So whether you use it or not, you don't get anything back. So it is gone. Whatever's in there is going to be thrown away. Bring in race morning and drop it off. They'll have special drop-offs. Make sure your athlete guide put the athlete briefing if they're where to drop them off. Those special needs bags will be in the sun all day, so count on whatever you put in there is going to be hot, it's going to be baking. So if you're going to put your special hydration for the bike, you're going to stop special needs and refill it. Put either lots of ice in it race morning or freeze half of it. Make sure if you freeze all of it, you do run the gamble of it may not be completely thawed. And if it separates out, you may get all your nutrition up front and then it's just liquid later. So just be careful with that kind of situation. I would highly recommend maybe, like ice cubes are probably the best because then you can just add everything, shake it up, and put it in the bag. More likely it'll be melted by the time you get the special needs, but maybe you do a little bit, couple degrees cooler. Like I said, food can be hot, drinks can be hot. Your morning bag, it's a little bit convenient. So with this one, you can carry with you all morning long until the very start of the swim. So volunteers will be coming by, or they have bins where you can put your bag. Sometimes they have them labeled by number in the special needs bags too. So make sure you put them in the right bins when the volunteers go to organize them. It's more convenient, more easy for them. Otherwise, your bag may get placed with a bunch of other bags in different number group, and you may not find it. You may be sitting in special needs, and you may be SOL. So do prepare for the fact some cosmic coincidence doesn't allow you to get your transition bag or your special needs bag. So transition bag, you shouldn't have it. It should be check it race morning, make sure you have it. The special needs, it does get transported to where the special needs pickup is, and there's a small minuscule chance you may not get it. So be prepared. Don't have a meltdown right there of special needs if you don't have your special nutrition or anything. Just pick up and move on. Go down to the next aid station and live off the course or whatever you got. But your morning bag, carry with you all morning. Like I said, I put my tri slide. I'm gonna wear probably a swim skin, my ear clip, my goggles, swim cap, timing chip, everything. I'm just carry it with me in my bag. My drinks and everything on my bike. So that way it's convenient. I'm gonna drive myself there. I might have a friend I can drop my keys in my car to, or hide it somewhere. So do not put your keys in here. Do not put your phone in here. Just in the event it does, for some reason, it gets lost in translation from the swim start to the end of the race with the rest of your bags. So you should get everything back. So if you're wearing a jacket, you're wearing just socks or something like that, you want to walk around in, flip flops, you want to throw those in the bag for the last minute. Like I said, it's nothing valuable. I did hit on make sure you rewrite your race numbers on your bag besides just putting a sticker on there. Don't hot up and find your bags race morning just because they might shift a little bit just when they're putting them in numerical sequence, especially if you're early in the day. Everything gets kind of shifted around, pushed around, make sure it fits. So I think that's the points after doing this. This will be Ironman number 7 for me personally. I think that hits most of the highlights and everything that I picked up from other racers, other professional triathletes, pro panels, stuff like that. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try to get to you, and we'll get you out there and have a good race day. So good luck out there.